Okay, people. So I'm a bit of a dickhead. You know what I mean? Let's get it out there. I sometimes I have no clue what I'm thinking, right? I avoid trailers. I find the synopsises often are terrible. So I like to go in fresh. Fresh. You know what I mean? Because I've said this before. I remember the experience when I first saw Gladiator and The Matrix, right? I'd heard about Gladiator just in the context of they're making a film set in gladiatorial times. That was it. But story wise, I had no clue what the fuck was going down. I didn't know who was going to be in it, directing it, nothing. And Matrix, I hadn't even heard about it, right? There were periods of time where I was just working 24/7. It was insane. So, yeah, and the just sitting in that cinema and when it came on the screen, be like, yo, oh my god, this is incredible. So I always try and recapture that experience. And that's happened. I remember when I first saw Kick Ass, had no clue. Had no clue. Someone was just like, yo, wanna come to cinema? I was like, yeah, all right. Had a shit day. And then when I saw it, it was just like, yeah. You know what I mean? So that's great. Can bite you in the ass though. Bite you in the ass. Now, with the press screenings, right? You turn up central London early ass in the morning, right? And man, with buses and trains and everything is just running slow. So my ass got there not late. I was on time, but the time I got there, I was still, I don't know, like half an hour early before the doors open. Queue was insane. Queue was insane. Um, and when you see the queue at first, you think, I ain't getting it. But then you remember the size of these cinemas, and you're like, I'm getting it. Yeah, screen queue's huge, and I'm standing in the queue. I had my headphones on, listening to shit, and then I heard the people behind me because also showing was a cop show, right? And it was funny because we were in the queue for Spencer, obviously. I mean, you can see the thing, right? No, that'd be thing. Yeah. So Spencer. Um, so yeah, we're in the queue for that, but also showing at this time in the morning at silly o'clock was cop show, and the people behind me were just like, it sounds like something Seth Rogen's gonna be in or blah blah blah. But I got an email about it. There's the people's down at Stripe Media are promoting it, and it's an Icelandic film, right? And yeah, you wouldn't know from the title, right? It's not Fjordenkoppen or something like. I mean, that's not Flemish. I guess you probably thought it was, but no, people, that wasn't. I just made that shit up. But yeah, so I knew it was an Icelandic film, and so it was just they were reeling off names of maybe it's Matthew Vaughn, not Matthew Vaughn, the other Vaughn, Vince Vaughn, right? And then different names. And I was like, no, actually, you know what? It's her. And so we started to talk. We got talking. Real nice couple of people. Um, oh gosh, was it? I think it was Eleanor and who worked for a what was it? A fashion magazine. And then, oh my days, my memory is shit. Sometimes I'm gonna say Chris, who worked in production. I think I got his name wrong. Apologies, my man. But so then they're just like, oh, so you here for Spencer? I'm like, yeah, I'm here for Spencer. And they're like, oh, do you know about it? I'm like, yeah, I'm looking forward to this one, man. I'm looking forward to this one. And so they're just like, and I'm like, but I haven't watched the trailer or the fair. And they're just like, oh no, so the trailer you've just got Kirsten Stewart like humming it up a bit. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm thinking, oh man, interesting. I wonder how this is gonna go. Right now, in my head, this was a thriller. I was all geared to see some spy thriller film. That's I must have had it mixed up with something else, but that's what I thought. I thought I was seeing a thriller, a spy espionage film, not a film about Diana, Prince of Wales, aka Diana Spencer. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh, people. When I found out the film had started is when I found out. But you know, let me let me get into this before I break that. So it is directed by Pablo Larraín. It's written by Stephen Knight, and you know Stephen Wright. He's worked on some good shit. I mean, I've enjoyed a lot of the stuff Stephen Knight has done. You know, um, probably more of the older stuff, like Eastern Promise was great. I think I've enjoyed Dirty Pretty Things, Amazing Grace, you know, Loke. That was very good. But yeah, Eastern Promise was that was a kick-ass motherfucker, right? So you know, hey, that name attached, you think, yo, I mean, I didn't know going in, obviously. So it is produced by Jean Dios Laran. So I'm assuming that's a relative of Pablo's. You know, we got Jonas Dumbach, Paul Webster. Pablo's also producing, along with Jenny Jakowski and Marraine Aid. So then, people, we have. Oh, hold on. My information is a bit skewed, which is a bit like. So, music is Johnny Greenwood. It's edited by Sebastian Sepulveda. Cinematography is Claire Maythorn. And it's got a good cast. It's got a good cast. We got Tristan Stewart as Diana, Prince of Wales, aka Spencer. We've got Jack Farthing as Charles, Prince of Wales. We have got Jack Neelan as Prince William, Freddie Spree as Prince Harry, Stella Gornet as Queen Elizabeth II, Richard Samuel as Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, Olga Helsing as Sarah, Duchess of York, Thomas Douglas as John Spencer, Matthias Rolkowski as Prince Edward, Orania Gordon as Lady Sarah Armstrong Jones. Then we have Timothy Spall. Timothy Spall has lost a lot of weight, you know. He plays Equerry Major Alistair Gregory. Has a great line. Has a great line in this. Sean Harris is Darren McGrady. He's the royal head chef. Sally Hawkins is Maggie, the royal dresser. Because, you know, they are people that help them get dressed. It's kind of crazy, man. Right? Imagine that shit. Someone lays out your clothes, helps you get dressed. It's crazy. So we also have Amy Mason as Anne Boleyn. Yeah, that's right. You heard me right, people. Anne Boleyn. Um, yeah, also Nicholas Court as Prince Andrew, Duke of York, and Elizabeth Barrington as Anne Prince Royal. Alright, so the gist of the film is this: the marriage of Princess Diana and Prince Charles has long since grown cold. Though rumors of affairs and a divorce abound, peace is ordained. Um, where am I? Peace is ordained for the Christmas festivities at the Queen's Sandringham estate. There's eating and drinking, shooting and hunting. Diane knows the game, but this year things will be profoundly different. Spencer is an imagining of what might have happened during those few fateful days. So, yes, that's it, people. You know what I mean? It's not a literal this took place. It's a this could have happened. We think this may have happened. You know, which always a little bit dubious. You know what I mean? Always a little bit dubious. But yeah, so here's the rub, right? So I'm sitting there waiting for this espionage film to start. And so it starts and we see snow. See snow. Then we see like this big house and army, right? And we're the package is on its way. Bring it in. Right? And you're like, oh, okay, okay. And then we just see these army people bring these big cases into this room. And it's like, oh, all right. Well, yeah, oh, are these dirty bombs? Right? Is someone gonna break in, steal them? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? So we have this. Then you see a lot of chefs. All right. Huh? So what's going on here? And there's a lot of chefs, right? And they walk into the room and they're standing in front of these things. I'm thinking, I don't know, is this some new army initiative? Right? Like, what's happening? They open it up, it's food. there's food in this thing. We see this woman driving a car. Driving a car and being just be like, where am I? I don't know. And the wind's blowing, it's a drop top. You know, and she's like, I'm lost. What's happening? And I'm thinking, a bit scatty, right? And so we're cutting in between the army, the chefs, and this happening, right? Then we have her pull up to her services and she walks in to try and get directions. And this is a point, right? There's people like, oh, look who it is. Oh, there she is. It's Diana. All right. And as soon as I heard Diana, the penny dropped. Because I'm like, Diana, Spencer. Oh, because I remember hearing they were making something about her, but I think I may have thought it was a TV series. I don't even know, right? But I hadn't figured out that what I was going to be watching was about her. So yeah, it's just like, oh, it's a film about Diana. Okay. And so we see her, you know, we see her bump into the head chef. Like he's driving out, he sees her, and they're like, what are you doing? You know? Now it's kind of interesting the way people were talking with her. Like all super friendly, like confidants, like certain people up in the piece. Right? Which I guess that was done to show she was the favored, right? Because I think that's the perception, right? She was all loved. I remember at the time, people, what did they call her? The Prince of Roses, Prince of Hearts, something ridiculous and stupid, you know? Right? Because I think is funny, right? Is act like, oh yeah, she wasn't royal. Like it's like Middleton and Merkel. They're all from good background. It's not like they're just scallywags off the street. You know what I'm saying? Like these ladies weren't, just nothings, nobodies. They were from a certain background. So even though you might go, oh, they weren't from that tier, they're still from high up. Still from fucking high up. They're in the clouds. Feel me? Um, but yeah, so right, we're seeing all of this, and she finally gets to Sandington, and that's when she bumps into Timothy Spall's character, right? Which is who's great. Equerry Major Alistair Gregory. And yeah, there's these weird traditions which I hadn't maybe if you're what do you think? A royalophile? I think that's the term. If you're a royalophile, if you love the royal family, you follow that shit, probably you know this stuff. But supposedly they at Christmas time, right? Go to Sandingham and you get weighed. You get weighed, and the thing is, you're meant to put on 3 stone, right, by the end of Christmas, because that then signifies how your enjoyment of the holidays, right? Now, I don't know what that's about, right? Because it's not like those figures get put out there. If everyone's like on the 22nd of December or whenever they arrive, be like, okay, so this is Gavin Scott from the news, and I just want to let everybody know the Queen weighed in at 125 pounds. That's right, people, 125 pounds. She's coming in a little bit lighter than this time last year. We'll see what happens. Prince Charles, he popped the scale at 170. Like people, we're not getting that. And then after Christmas, or the 1st of January, we're like, so we're back, people, and the figures are now in. Oh, Queen Elizabeth, she left weighing 130 pounds. Oh, she put on 5 pounds. Oh, she definitely had a good time. Charles, 200 pounds. Oh, Charles. Whew. I think he indulged for sure. Oh, splendid. Well, that's put the country on good footing, hasn't it? Because we know that our royal family enjoyed themselves over Christmas. Oh, splendid people. Oh, I know half of you went hungry, but you must feel very fulfilled knowing the royal family stuffed their faces like little piggy pig pigs. It's ridiculous. But there's Easter tradition. Supposedly, King George put this in place, right? But so there's all of these things which, I mean, at the beginning she went with, but now it's just like, oh, I just want to get through this. I just want to get through this. So it's an interesting film because it is very skewed. It is very skewed, right? It's keeping with the narrative that she was the victim, she was the heroine of the piece. Now, listen, don't get me wrong. No one really knows what the fuck went down, right? No one really knows what the fuck went down. Because I kind of feel going into this, right? You know what you're getting in. You know it's gonna be crazy, right? You can't marry into a royal family and think, oh, this is every day, right? Just my normal norm. I'll go to yoga in the morning. I'll pop down to Sainsbury's to have a little look around, see what's in the bakery. Or if I'm feeling really naughty, I'll go to M&S. Right? You ain't doing that. You have an idea, right? You have an idea, especially people. We have a thing called the internet. So, you know, especially now, right? Anyone now, Middleton, Merkel, they can look. They would have Googled. They'd have seen the documentaries, just the news, just all of these things, letting them know. But even with Diana, she'd have an understanding. So, do I think she was a heroine? She was a victim? Eh, not really. I think it was probably not the best situation for sure, right? You could tell neither party was really thrilled with it. I think maybe, it was just a bit like, this might be a good idea. Okay, let's see how it goes. And it just didn't go, right? Not everyone's compatible. Like when you look at the rate of divorce, you could see that clearly. So, but that's the thing, right? And yeah. So it's very skewed. It's very skewed in that respect. Little quippy remarks from certain people, like the Queen seems very cold. There's at one point at dinner, and there's this staring kind of contest between her, Diana, and Charles, right? So there is that. But what I really liked was the score. So it's a kind of a classical score, but it's ramped up. It's like a fever dream. It's very frantic. It's uncomfortable. It's not great. Right. So it's not like, this is not, I love that tune. Oh, you can tap your foot to it. No, 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 no. This is a little bit different, right? So have that, and yeah. So I thought that was very good, and like as I mentioned earlier, we have her seeing Anne Boleyn, right? And so there's that analogy made between her and Anne Boleyn. Anne Boleyn, Henry killed her. Charles, got rid of Diana. It's that kind of. This is what we're saying. This is what we're saying. The script, there's a lot of things in the script which are a little on the nose. Like at one point, she's like, do you think they're gonna kill me? Which is like, oh, come on, man. What? Really? That's what we're doing? But as I said, look, Timothy Spall's character had a great line because he's been like, oh, I saw you doing this. And she's like, oh, what? What's your job here? What are you doing? Like, oh, so you're watching me? You're watching me? Because supposedly she's getting changed in front of her windows, but not drawing the curtains. Which, I mean, come on. Like, I think if anyone says like, oh, you might want to shut your curtains, people peeping in, like, I mean that's not the craziest thing someone has ever said to someone, But she's just like, oh, why are you watching me? Why are you watching me? And he's like, I'm watching so others don't see. I was like, ooh, it's a great line. That's a great line. All right, but yeah, there's a lot of craziness. I don't we don't really get a lot of character development on anyone. Even with Diana, you don't really like everything is presumed, right? You assume, oh, right, she's probably like this because of, we know it's been 10 years, right? Um, but there's never, she mumbles a few things at times, but there's never really the, oh, this is the thing, bum bum bum. Even just talking to herself, right? Or the supposed Anne Boleyn. Now we do have a hallucinating. It does show the bulimia, but I think that's really it when you're kind of putting things on Diana. Now they do reference the affairs a little. They don't come out. And the weird thing was because they're in their own house. So I do feel the conversations might have been a bit more open, right? Now, not saying they're going to be like, oi, mate, over here. No, it's definitely going to be more formal. But I think, I think certain things might have been said. And especially, look, we know Prince Philip, the crazy shit that motherfucker would say out in public. What the fuck is he saying behind closed doors? Right? So they reference the affairs somewhat, which I thought, okay, well, at least they're doing that. But yeah, I don't know. I think royal fans and Diana fans especially will definitely like this. I think if you watch The Crown, if you watch Downton Abbey, if you're down with those sort of things, you're going to dig this for sure. Me, I was just a bit like, meh, hum, didn't blow me away. The performances were okay, but Case Stew, which I think is ridiculous. Kirsten Stewart, she she's all right, but again, I just thought it was it's all a little surface level. There didn't really seem that much depth because it was just kind of looking vapidly into the distance a lot and be like, oh, um, hmm, huh, hmm, ooh, huh. you know, I mean, like, eh. But hey, as I said, if you are a fan of The Crown, right, it's been going on forever. If you watch all them Downton Abbeys, and that was a long ass series, right? If you're a fan of all of those things, yeah, I think you'll dig this. Okay, so now you may have missed the the opening night, right? But never fear, because it is showing tomorrow, Friday, the 8th of October. It's at midday, though, people. It's at 2:45, 2:45. It will be again at the Royal Festival Hall. So if you want to experience cinema in a fancy ass venue like that, boom, that might be your opportunity. If you can only do weekends, it is showing that it's playing on the 17th of October, so the last day of the festival. Again, it's 2:45, 2:45 at the Curzon in Soho. Right now, it's showing that one is sold out, but as mentioned before, people, if you check on the day, there's oftentimes people will return their tickets. Maybe they're ill, right? Maybe something else has come up, babysitter's fallen through. Who knows? Who knows? But it's always worth checking. So, people, there you go. Spencer. And it's about Diana, Prince of Wales. It is not a spy espionage thriller. Be warned.